Okay, we're back to one of my all-time favorite ingredients. And I know I say that a lot, but this one I really mean it. This is a pork butt, and you'll see these sold in the store in several different forms. You'll see it as a pork shoulder, as a Boston butt. You'll see a front cut. You'll see a blade cut. You see all kinds of cuts. Now, here's what you're looking for when you're looking for a pork butt. This, see that? That's the fat cap. Okay? Now, that will not completely render out, but you don't want to get rid of that because when you're cooking it, that's going to mostly render, and it's going to help keep the meat juicy and tender and succulent. Sometimes you get them with no bone. Sometimes you get them with the bone right there. See? You want the bone. You see where the marrow is? That's also flavor. And something else with these cuts that are often really inexpensive. I mean, the pork butt, if you're careful, you can always find it under $2 a pound, and sometimes for as little as $1.29 a pound. Now, here's one of the things that you're going to trade off for. All of this white stuff is either fat or cartilage or connective tissue. Now, that's not that big a deal because all of those things also mean lots and lots of flavor. The best way to do a pork butt or any kind of inexpensive cut that's got that kind of gristly stuff in it is to go low and slow. Now that means either on the grill over low, very low heat for hours. You can do it in your smoker, or you can do it in a slow cooker or a big Dutch oven. I think I have oatmeal in my slow cooker, so I'm using my Dutch oven. Okay. Now I've got the oven set to 250 degrees. You don't want to go higher than that, and you're going to put everything in here, and then you're going to walk away and leave it. Okay. Now, in this case, each one of these roasts is about 5 pounds, and most normal families would have one of these. I always cook more than I need because the leftovers are so fabulous and other things. But I have a big family, so you would do one, I'm going to do two, and the rest of the stuff would stay the same. Now you can do a pork butt with just salt and pepper. Sometimes I throw a little garlic powder on it. Put the lid on it in the oven, it's good to go. And then you can use it for, you can make tacos with it, you can do barbecue sandwiches, you can dress it up and put it in a lettuce wrap if you want to go with an Asian influence. In this case, I know I'm making tacos, so I'm going to use that kind of flavor base. Alright, so in here, garlic, about 4 cloves, and I've got some onion. This is how fast this works. Okay? And if you have jalapeno, throw a couple of jalapenos in there. I didn't have any, so I'm using some bell pepper, 1 can of diced tomatoes. We're almost to the end of the good fresh tomato season. We're in August, and most of the tomatoes are on their way out for the year. But you know, canned tomatoes are so high in quality that I would actually prefer, if you can't get a good homegrown fresh one, I would go with a canned. I think it tastes better. Alright, and our seasonings: salt, pepper, chili powder, some cumin, and a little bit of crushed red pepper. If you want to use a little cayenne, go ahead and use that. I ran out, which I can't believe I did, but I did. But you've got about 1.5 teaspoons, half a teaspoon of pepper, I'd say 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and I don't know, 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper. Alright, so everybody's going to go in here, just like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to wash my hands before I do anything else, but the lid's going to go on here. I'm putting it in a 250-degree oven, and then I'm going to walk away, and that's going to sit there for probably the next 6 to 8 hours at least. Now, once it's done all that, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to show you how to actually pull pork. Alright, so our pork has had, I'd say, about 8 hours in the oven at about 250 degrees. And actually, I almost forgot that I put it in there. And this is what we look like. Come here a second, baby. You see? Now, look here. This is going to be important in a minute, but I'll show you why. You see this top layer right here? Let me grab a spoon, see if I can... I've got a teaspoon, it's kind of weird, but this is where all of that fat has rendered, and because fat will rise, it's all up here at the top, okay? Now, see, that's all fat. Now, most of that we're just going to get rid of in a minute, but I'm going to show you what the meat looks like and how you can tell when it's been cooked sufficiently. Now, it'll get tender and it'll get edible, you know, after, well, not tender, it'll get edible after a couple of hours. It'll be cooked. Oh, goodness. But it won't be until it reaches this stage.
Mommy?
Hang on just a minute. Okay, shh, just a minute. We'll get to it in just a minute. Shh, be quiet. It's not until it reaches this stage that you've really gotten it as tender and succulent as it's going to be. Okay, I don't know how this is going to work. My little guy's hungry. You see how easy that comes apart? That's what you're looking for. Okay, now give me half a second, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the meats. I'm going to strain the liquid and show you how to pull together the next step. And I'm going to feed him. Okay, so I pulled all the pork that came off of those 2 pork butts that I had, and I strained the liquid that had come out when we were braising it, and I've pulled most of the fat. I've got a little bit that I haven't gotten off of there yet, but I got most of it. So here's our pulled pork, and this is what you're looking for. See these nice, beautiful, tender strands? That's how pulled pork should look, okay? Don't ever put a knife to your pulled pork. It's like sacrilege. As soon as I make a roll like that, then I break it myself, but you know. This is exactly how you would do it if you're wanting to do pulled pork for barbecue sandwiches. That's the same thing. Easy, easy. And I've got a big kid over here trying to straighten up the kitchen and be quiet, so we're not supposed to notice him. Alright, so I put just enough liquid on there to make sure we keep it nice and moist. And this is almost ready to go. Now you can put anything you want to if you have cilantro, or if you just happen to be somebody that has to have lettuce, or you have to have onion, or I don't know, cheese, whatever it is you like on your tacos. Pickles, I don't think so. Not pickles. Then go ahead and knock yourself out. I like these pretty simple. Now this is a salsa verde, a tomatilla salsa that I made yesterday, and if you want to see how, I made a video of it. Really, really good stuff, okay? Nice bright flavor, and it's really delicious against that pulled pork. The citrus kind of pop of the tomatillas is just perfect, okay? A little sour cream. I do wish I had a little fresh cilantro to sprinkle on this, but I think I used it all in my salsa. Okay, that is how you make a pulled pork taco with salsa verde. Let's see, I've been waiting all day for this.
That makes 2 of it.
It was worth the wait. If you like this video and you want more great tips, tricks, and techniques, check out the website at thrillbillygourmet.com. You can like me on Facebook under The Thrillbilly Gourmet, and you can follow me on Twitter under Jan Charles or The Thrillbilly. I'm on Pinterest now too under Jan Charles. I've also got 2 brand new podcasts, both of which you can find on iTunes. The Thrillbilly Gourmet and The Food City Kitchen on WVLT with Chef Walter Lambert and Jan Charles. Now, make sure you subscribe, and you can ask a question, you can leave a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for visiting.